Okay, this is actually a very interesting story. So basically, when I ended my Europe trip, I went to Europe on a government contract. So I was doing I was like a federally deployed, and so I was like a federal employee. And so when my contract ended, I came back to the States, and I knew I didn't want to go home. So I was trying to figure out, okay, so like, where will I go? I'm not going home. And I'd spent pretty much all the money that I earned in Europe traveling Europe. And then I remembered that Jaden Smith album that I had. I was listening to it all the time. And he was talking about Santa Barbara. And I'm like, okay, so this Nepo baby is like chatting about Santa Barbara. It must be like a really cool place. So I looked into it. And they had this, and I looked up like shelters in Santa Barbara. And I found the rescue mission. Okay, so now the rescue mission is basically, it says it's an addiction center, but it is, that's a part of it, but it also just has like a little shelter service that's a part of it. Now, most of it is for men, but there's like 40 beds for women. Now, there's just not that many needy women in Santa Barbara, so there's like always like a lot of beds available. And if you get there by like 4 o'clock, you can basically claim a bed. So I did this. I got like a house. I flew into the city, got a hostel for like 2 days, and then ended up getting a bed. And the way that it works is if you get there and you claim a bed and you come every day by 7 o'clock, you'll keep the bed as long as you want. And they also offer like meals there, like breakfast and dinner and stuff. It's definitely not this like ideal place, but it's like free, and the people working there are very nice and have gone through like the services there, so it's pretty awesome. And so pretty much as soon as I got to town, I went to the social services agency because I didn't have a job yet, and I was still trying to figure out how to like apply for unemployment, because if you work a federal contract, it's not the same as like working stateside. So federal employees can't apply online. You have to do it all over the phone, and they have an unemployment development center with all these like laptops there. So I did that. I hung out there quite a lot just to like use the computers and like figure out all my shit, because when I was coming back to the States from Germany, I had a layover in Rome, and unfortunately, all of my luggage was stolen at the airport. So I literally came to America with just a passport and one suitcase because all of my luggage got stolen. So that's like my MacBook, my backpack, everything. Okay, yeah. So all that stuff was gone from me. So I had to obviously get like new stuff, but not just that. It was actually a really chill summer. I will say I had to get into the groove of stuff and figuring out how stuff works. So I went to the social services agency, got the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, which in Santa Barbara is called cencal. So I was able to immediately, in like 10 days after I landed there, the next month that rolled over, I got my cencal medical insurance. So I got to see a therapist. I saw her like for 1 hour twice a week. I was able to walk there. If you call the service, they'll actually give you a bus pass. They'll send it to you each month. There's also something called general delivery. So if you don't have a mailing address yet, you can just get your mail delivered to the regular post office under your name in general delivery and then pick it up there. So I did that for like 2 months until they made me get a post office box. So I just rented one for like $60. So that was an expense. I did pay for that. I also paid for my cell phone and my food. I did get food stamps there, which was like $292 a month for one person. So that was pretty nice. It was kind of hard to afford that, but they also have a fuck ton of food banks there. And if you're staying at the mission, they'll give you this little letter and you can take it to the food bank. And then there's like, I don't know, 27 food banks. There's like 32 beaches. So I had a free bus pass. I had a free bed. $300 in food stamps, and my medical insurance was covered. So my therapy was covered. I also got acupuncture. I got to see an ear, nose, and eye specialist, a dermatologist, an eye doctor. I got a yeast infection while I was there, so I got that taken care of. I got an IUD from Planned Parenthood, a copper one, and then I had to get it taken out because it wasn't put in the right way. I also got quite a lot of hormone, like I think I might have PCOS, so I got care for that. Or PCOS. And there's this really cool place called, well, I talked about Unity Shop, and there's Father Virgil's, which is like this, it's like a day program that runs from 8 to 3, where there's like a chef who works there, and these like lazy boy chairs. So you can just go there and use the internet on a lazy boy chair from like 8 to 3. So I did that. And then I did get a job. So I worked part-time at the grocery store. And that's actually how I got to LA. So I just transferred my job from Santa Barbara to LA. There's a million grocery stores, so not very hard to get, just like a basic ass job. So then I still had money like to pay for my phone bill and stuff. Now my parents, I told them that I was like doing this, and they were very concerned, like, oh my god, you're not gonna make it, you're gonna like fail. Now I will say, like, half the people who are there are more like in drug treatment. So if you actually know someone who's suffering from some sort of addiction, Santa Barbara is a really great city to send them to, because there's like 170 different programs that will put you up with like housing and everything while you go through your program. But if that's not the case for you, and you're just like a woman who is like trying to get her shit together, there's like 3 or 4 other women who I know who are there right now. There's like some like teachers, people who are just working regular jobs, other people who are just in therapy, kind of trying to figure their shit out. But the bed is free for as long as you need it. Some people have been there for a really long time, like 11 years. And because the city, obviously there's like a lot of people who live there, and like Montecito who have a lot, it's not government funded. So it's like a philanthropic effort. So yeah, I spent a lot of time at the library. I saw all the beaches, had a job, tried all the alcohol. I was like a wine clerk for a while. Yeah, it was pretty great. That's pretty much how I had a whole free summer. So now I'm back in the rat race, obviously. But yeah, if you want to know how to have a free summer, great city to do that.